Projects come in through the internet, my website, projects built, stories in newspapers and journals and magazines, maybe sometimes on TV. I might have done a public memorial, friends or family passing the word around. But mostly who comes to me is the middle-aged women, because they often get the job. You go take care of it, you'll be okay. But what's fascinating about that experience is that the woman comes to me and we have a connection with the project. She goes back to the family. Then the men come on board, running into the project, because there's a sense of, yeah, I'm okay now. I can start. Typically, I'll sit near the gravesite with my clients for the first meeting, and we'll look at the memorial, which is a memorial itself, which is the mound, or it might not be a mound. It might be 10 years, 20 years, 50 years down the track. The space, and we look at the space as its qualities, its topography, its hydrology, the way the wind comes across the site, the noises, the light levels, the access, whether it be just a path, it might be a memorial that's isolated, so it's got access all the way around. So there's a site analysis we need to go through, and that forms the information we need to know about how the site is going to actually be used by the memorial, and how the memorial actually sits on site, the typology. A lot of these structures are built in heritage areas, and interesting enough, heritage cemeteries have this fantastic collection of art. And what people don't really understand is that every period of art is represented in these memorials. There's the Art Deco period, the Egyptian revivalists, the modernists, the Bauhaus, and as a consequence, my memorials are heritage-based in the sense that we keep stepping with art. They are memorials of this time. So in our first meeting, and it usually takes about an hour, it is a meeting where we work out whether we want to actually work together. And through that discussion, and it's a very, very friendly meeting, and there's no expectations whether the project will go forward from this point. The ingredients of working out to work forward is the nuts and bolts. When, where and how, the cost, the budget. So how I work straight up, say, well, it's not straight up. Down the track in the conversation, we've got to end up saying, well, what's your budget? And once we establish the budget, then every design conversation is based on that budget, so there's no financial surprises. And ultimately, my memorials cost no different to anyone else's, but there's so much deeper experience for it. So from that first conversation, we set up another conversation, usually about 2 weeks later. And I write back to my clients and further to our conversation, happy to work with you, this is our budget. So that just becomes the business aspect, and that's sorted. And the next conversation is an invite to bring other things to the memorial meeting, and we set up chairs and table, and we have some drinks there. So it's kind of like the cafe experience in the cemetery, where we try and make it at ease. Have this ability to have a very caring conversation about their loved one. They might bring certain objects or copies of the eulogy or pictures of their loved one, which gives me such interest in understanding of what this person was all about. So that being said, I get a basic understanding of the person, but I'm actually more interested at this point on how the memorial is going to be experienced by the people sitting in front of me. I look at the physicality of them. Some of these people may be so old that they can't actually sit, they just need to stand or lean. So we customise the space according to the physical approach. Then we go into the third meeting, and I've actually got a sketch and a basic model to present, and that is just a presentation for the next series of conversation to go off. It is just it's a series of ideas based on the previous conversations, and probably 2 or 3 emails and some phone calls and some projects set amongst us. And then we've got a sort of collection of informations. And then from that presentation of design, it gets a bit sort of tuned and modified, or it might get discarded and we start again. There's always a B plan and a C plan. But we come back to the brief, we come back to the site, we come back to the person. So there's our reference points, which are really our datums of intellect or datums of information. So there we go, and we keep going along the track, and then some magic appears. There's something that is out of this curiosity that we find is the object. And the object starts forming to the structure, and the structure starts making more sense about the experience. The experience then starts coming back to the object. And then we have form. And we have a narrative of form. And then there's a look amongst the table, there's this understanding that, yeah, we've got something here, we've got something unique. And for me, I'm simply just directing, through my experience, the tools from which my clients to explore in a theatre of no fear. No fear to say whatever. No fear to write whatever. No fear to be able to create together. This is the concept of collaboration. The project's complete. I'll stop by occasionally and have a look. Sometimes do a clean. We offer a post-memorial service in terms of taking care. My partner restores and cleans memorials, so that's part of the offer. But it's interesting to observe how the memorial is used by the objects that are left. Some memorials, we use the idea of chalking on them and drawing and engaging. Sometimes they have slits in the project where you can post letters and you just peer into the slit and it's full of letter. So those ideas we spoke about way back about connecting with memory, connecting with heart, are being used. That's very fulfilling as a designer builder to see it in action, because I don't and rarely get to see how my clients use it. That's not my job. My job is to understand the potential. And further to that, that's the offer, that we discover, whoever you are, the stories behind the story. And you can't do that you can only do that through a series of conversations. Conversations of care, conversations about love, conversations about understanding. And out of that becomes a composition of absolute calm and deep narrative.